CBS 46 News at 11 starts now.
It is well, it is well with.
Moving scenes across Metro Atlanta tonight, from just outside the city to the University of Georgia campus. Thousands gather to mourn the loss of 4 young women killed in a tragic car crash just 24 hours ago. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sharon Reed.
And I'm Ben Swan. The new developments from Athens in just a moment. But first, another major story. New details surfacing tonight as CBS 46 investigates the deadly Pointer Ridge fire.
Now, we went through hundreds of pages of documents chronicling the fire that killed a woman and her 2 children. Tonight, the new information uncovered about the person in charge of the fire investigation. Here's CBS 46 investigative reporter Karen Greer.
An otherwise quiet neighborhood in suburban Gwinnett County, where the gutted house at 1079 Pointer Ridge is still standing, nearly 3 months after Kathy Patterson and her 2 young daughters died in an inferno. More than simply an eyesore to those who live nearby, it is a grim, ever-present reminder of tragedy, horror, and increasingly unanswered questions. Unanswered questions about the cause of the fire. Unanswered questions about the sole survivor, husband and father Brent Patterson, but also unanswered questions about what now appears to many to be a bungled investigation. Literally, before the smoke cleared, Gwinnett County fire officials declared no foul play suspected. The premises not even regarded as a potential crime scene. The officer in charge to this day, senior fire investigator Sarah Redmond. But the senior fire investigator has nothing to do with experience. As CBS 46 Investigates discovered when we obtained hundreds of pages of documents from the Gwinnett County Fire Department using the Georgia Open Records Act.
She should not have been the lead investigator on this triple fatal fire, period.
We asked CBS 46 public safety consultant Mike Brooks to review nearly 100 applications for the fire inspector job that was handed to Sarah Redmond.
She's the least qualified of the 8 applicants that they gave one-on-one interviews with, of the 92 that applied, and of the 35 that were qualified.
All of the other finalists, unlike Sarah Redmond, were experienced firefighters, many with backgrounds in law enforcement.
They started her off right from the very beginning, and this was in March of 2015.
That's just 3 months after being certified as a law enforcement officer for the first time, and less than 1 year before the deadly Pointer Ridge fire. In interviews for the job, Sarah Redmond was asked, "What is an area of development for you?" Her answer, quote, "Learning the job I'm applying for." Repeatedly, Sarah Redmond herself acknowledged and underscored her lack of experience. Quote, "Have a lot to learn and willing to put in the time to learn necessary information." Asked why she was applying for the job, she replied, quote, "Fire investigation is new and I needed a challenge to help me grow." And she made this jaw-dropping statement, quote, "My focus is getting more experience with fire." We've uncovered at least some of the answers and we'll be telling you much more in the days to come. Meanwhile, yesterday, Gwinnett County Fire Chief Casey Snyder declined our request for an interview based on what he called, quote, "clear misrepresentation of the facts" by CBS 46. He defends fire investigator Sarah Redmond as qualified for the job. He defends the Pointer Ridge fire investigation. He stands by the initial statement of no foul play suspected. And while acknowledging that the inconsistencies in Brent Patterson's statements have complicated the case, he says that they, quote, "do not indicate culpability." For CBS 46 Investigates, I'm Karen Greer.
And CBS 46 Investigates also reached out to the fire investigator, Sarah Redmond herself, several times. We would like to get her side of the story, but we have not heard back. You can follow along at CBS 46 Investigates the tragedy in Tucker. You'll find comprehensive coverage inside of a special section of CBS46.com. Just look for the link on the right side of the homepage.
Right now, back to the other big story we've been watching all day as the UGA family mourns the loss of 4 of its own. People across the state are standing united as investigators try to piece together what led up to a horrific car accident last night. The night team getting brand new information and more powerful images as these young students lost are remembered. Our team coverage begins with Julian Johnson. He's on the University of Georgia campus in Athens. Julian.
And Sharon, today we know that there were at least 2 vigils held for these 4 girls who passed away. There was also a small memorial set up near where this crash happened. And here at the sorority house where 2 of the girls were members, we've seen people passing by and saying prayers. These 4 University of Georgia students have been the focus of a day of mourning. Kayla Canedo, Christina Cimaria, and Haley Scott, all 19. Christina Feldman was only 20 years old. All of them killed in a car crash along Georgia 15 near Watkinsville Wednesday night.
These 4 incredible people walked together hand in hand through the gates of heaven last night.
Outpouring of emotion came in every form imaginable, from a memorial where the crash happened to Governor Nathan Deal ordering flags to fly at half-staff. There were also 2 vigils held.
To lose any one student affects all of us like one big nuclear family. I wanted to show support for that and for Agnes.
UGA junior Monique Collins says she knows Agnes Kim, the driver of the car the students were in. Of the 5 people in that car, 21-year-old Kim is the sole survivor, but is still in critical condition.
You remember forever the ones where you have multiple victims where their family isn't here to be with them in their last moments.
As the grief continues, investigators are now tasked with finding out how it happened. So far, officials believe the students drifted into oncoming traffic and collided with another car. But what caused the driver to leave her lane is still being looked into. 3 girls died on scene, 1 more at the hospital.
It just hurts. There's no words that can assuage their grief.
And as you hear there, this case even difficult for law enforcement to handle, but as the healing process continues, as does the investigation. At this point, we do know that the driver of the car that the girls collided with has been released from the hospital. Tonight, we are live in Athens. Julian Johnson, CBS 46 News 19.
And new tonight, we are learning more about those 4 young women killed. They all had roots here in Metro Atlanta. The 19's Tracy Hutchins is live in Milton, where those students are being remembered. Tracy?
Well, Sharon, I can tell you, even though Milton High School is a big school where these students attended, they left a huge impact here in this community. More than 100 people turned out tonight, including the family of one of the victims.
Today has been a total blur. I don't even know how I'm standing, but I know that God surrounded our family with army angels all day long.
A message of love and faith Thursday night from the family of Christina Cimaria. Christina, Kayla Canedo, and Brittany Feldman were well known here at Milton High School, and memories of Hallie Scott from Dunwoody were shared here too. All 4 were killed Wednesday night in a crash.
They're just all great people, and they're going to be missed, and they're really special.
19-year-old Hallie was a Tri Delta. On the sorority's Facebook page, they wrote about how she was incredible and loving and how she'll be deeply missed. 20-year-old Brittany Feldman was a sophomore and the new member coordinator for the Pi Beta Phi sorority. And Kayla Canedo was one of her closest friends. She was a sophomore and psychology major at UGA. 19-year-old Christina Cimaria was a member of Birmingham United Methodist Church in Milton. Tonight, her father reminded others to pray for the young women that survived.
Those 2 that survived with driving the cars, they're going to feel real bad. They're going to feel responsible. We need to shower on them love, understanding, and compassion.
And both Kayla Canedo and Brittany Feldman were camp counselors here at the local YMCA, and so many here tonight shared how different this summer will be without them in this community. Live in Milton, Tracy Hutchins, CBS 46 News 19.
Just an enormous loss. CBS 46 will follow this developing story throughout the night. The morning team is already in the newsroom. Join them for any new information that breaks overnight. It all starts at 4:30 a.m. And new tonight, searchers recover the body of a missing DeKalb County firefighter in Lake Lanier's Sunset Cove. Friends last saw 37-year-old Jason Blaylock on Saturday at a party at the lake. His supervisor filed a missing person report yesterday after Blaylock failed to show up for work at Fire Station 24. Blaylock from Buford, had been a DeKalb firefighter for 11 years. And we have new information on this deadly crash in DeKalb County. It happened today along Brockett Road at Fox Glove Road in Tucker. Investigators say a driver that was stopped by police sped off, crossing the center line, hitting another car head-on. The driver that fled police died from his injuries. The other driver is at Grady Hospital in critical condition. Ben?
Well, now to a developing story. Terror at a TV station. A man recovering tonight after a bizarre situation in Baltimore. Police say that man entered WBFF television. He was dressed in some kind of animal costume. He appeared to have some sort of bomb strapped to him. Turned out that bomb were just candy bars attached to wires. The building was evacuated after the suspect told someone he planned to blow up the station. No one else was hurt. The suspect was shot by a sniper. He remains in the hospital. Meanwhile, bizarre is once again a quite fitting description for today's developments on the campaign trail. Lucifer in the flesh. That was the phrase one well-known politician used to describe one of the candidates. That strong language came as the bitter battle between Donald Trump and Ted Cruz has intensified yet again. But the comment came from someone who isn't even in the race for the White House. Ted Cruz, looking for votes ahead of next Tuesday's crucial primary, is fending off a new jab from the former Speaker of the House. John Boehner attacked Cruz during a speech at Stanford.
Lucifer in the flesh over my dead body will he be present.
He allowed his inner Trump to come out.
Cruz says it's proof of his campaign's claim that he is the anti-Washington candidate, something he reiterated during a rally in Fort Wayne.
Donald and Hillary, they are both Washington insiders.
While Cruz and his new running mate Carly Fiorina toured the state, Donald Trump is on stage again with Indiana coaching legend Bobby Knight, where the billionaire quickly turned to mocking Cruz.
He was saying, I'm the only one that can beat Donald Trump.
Indiana and its 57 delegates are seen as critical as to whether Cruz can stop Trump from gaining the support needed to lock up the nomination.
The eyes of the entire country are on the state of Indiana right now.
If we win in Indiana, it's over.
Well, as for the Democrats, Hillary Clinton had no public events today. Bernie Sanders campaigned in Oregon a day after downsizing some of his staff.
Noon tonight, a gun battle in a local pharmacy. What's worse, police say this is part of a disturbing trend. CBS 46 News at 11 is back in 60 seconds. New video tonight of bold and violent thieves. These pharma robbers pistol whipped a worker to get their drugs. Criminals are targeting pharmacies across metro Atlanta.
In just the last 2 weeks, we have learned of at least 5 pharmacies have been hit. And the 19's Christian De La Rosa tonight with why police fear there may be more that are going to be hit again.
Strikes one male in the head.
He struck in broad daylight along Atlanta's MLK Jr. Drive around lunch hour. You can see him walking in, pistol whips the clerk. From this other angle, you see the suspect fire a shot at another employee. He then starts filling up his pink and purple backpack with all sorts of prescription medications. And less than an hour before this heist, police say he hit this CVS pharmacy along Metropolitan Parkway, jumping the counter, threatening employees, stealing bottle after bottle filled with pills.
I called the police.
Regina Dupree Allen told us she was there waiting to get her medicine.
It was chaos.
In the past 2 weeks, pharmacies in Carroll County and Clark County have also been targeted by criminals, stealing everything from hydrocodone to Viagra and even diabetes medication.
We're very afraid that he might strike again.
Officers say they don't think the incidents are all connected, but they say the medications are all likely being sold in the black market, feeding the prescription drug epidemic in college campuses and neighborhoods across metro Atlanta. And officers tell me their fear is that these robberies will be followed up by overdoses being reported in the community. It just so happens that this weekend Atlanta police will be joining the DEA for a national take-back of prescription medication. That starts Saturday at 10 a.m. For now, we're live outside Atlanta Police Headquarters. I'm Christian De La Rosa, CBS 46 News, 19.
And there are new developments tonight in the death investigation of music icon Prince. Officials are trying to determine if the singer died from an overdose and if a doctor was prescribing him drugs in the weeks before he died. Sources tell CBS News the Carver County Sheriff's Office could now ask the DEA to possibly assist in their investigation if the prescription drugs found were related to his death. Autopsy results could take 3 to 4 weeks.
New details now on a close call between two jets at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. These were two Delta jets. We first told you about the frightening moments yesterday.
Delta 833, cancel takeoff, clear. Sorry about that. That was my mistake, guys.
But the air traffic controller had cleared Delta Flight 873 to Miami for the same runway that Delta Flight 749 had to taxi across after landing nearby. As they accelerated towards 140 miles an hour, the crew of the first Delta jet had essentially to slam on the brakes. The FAA says those planes were 1¼ miles apart when Delta 749 crossed the runway.
Tonight, we're getting answers about a story you saw first on CBS 46, the so-called trip from hell. A man says he accidentally traveled overseas with bullets in his bag that belonged to his son, an avid hunter. That man ended up in prison, and we wanted to know what happened. How did his bag pass through airport security, and could his arrest have been avoided? The night team's Adam Harding tonight with a critical new update.
Tonight, changes could be coming to the TSA after CBS 46 first began raising troubling questions.
It was a nightmare. It was.
We first told you about Henry Head's trip from hell Wednesday. He says he flew out of Hartsfield-Jackson to New Jersey, then to India. Little did he know, inside one of his carry-on bags were 4 bullets. He says it was an honest mistake, a mistake that landed him in prison overseas.
I was in the prison with every murderers, bank robbers, rapists, and Somali pirates. I was in there with them.
Tonight, we are asking, how were the bullets never caught at the stateside security check?
And imagine how much easier it would have been for us. Still not right. You know, we didn't mean to do it, but dealing with it on U.S. soil?
Yeah.
In a statement released late Thursday, the TSA confirms it has started an inquiry into the matter, saying if needed, it will retrain employees as necessary.
We're looking into it now. How could this happen?
I spoke earlier this week by phone with Congressman Barry Loudermilk. He helped secure Henry's release from prison. He believes this is a wake-up call for airport screening, going so far as to say it may be time for the TSA to invest in new technology.
I would have much rather had it been caught here by our TSA because it went through the x-ray machine and nobody caught it.
Sharon and Ben, taking this one step further, we are working with the TSA to help them track down the actual video clip from when he went through the TSA checkpoint and apparently had his bag pass right through without raising any alarms. By the way, the charges that he's still facing in India, those are still pending. He's too afraid now to leave the country. We'll continue to dig deeper. Live at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, I'm Adam Harding, CBS 46 News 19.
Certified Atlanta's most accurate forecast for the second year in a row. Now, CBS 46 Chief Meteorologist Jim Kosek.
Well, beautiful night giving way to a very warm day tomorrow. If you're up at 6:50 in the morning, that's when the sun's up, and it is going to be a bright start to the day. Not as humid, but that warmth definitely will take its toll. Kind of a little bit of a trade-off. Humidity down, heat up a couple of notches from today. Matter of fact, the record high for tomorrow is 88 from 1894. It's a 122-year-old record. I think it's going to 87. That's close. And that 87 degrees is the hottest weather we've had since September 20th of last year. Now that speaks volumes. Meanwhile, there's nothing to be concerned about on our view from above. The minor showers, even Upson County picked up a thunderstorm earlier this evening. That's all gone. Clear skies are in, and with the airflow coming in out of the west-northwest, clear skies will stay with us, at least for the time being. Let me break down Friday for you with the aid of sunshine. It's going to be a glorious day if you don't mind the heat across the area. But as the higher humidity does build back in out of the Gulf of Mexico and the wind flow changes, we are going to see some clouds arriving. That's during the course of tomorrow night, most likely under the cover of darkness. Worst case scenario, some of the showers developing out of the Gulf could survive crossing the Hooch. That would be during the wee hours of a Saturday morning. I lean against that idea. By the time everything reloads, it's most likely during the course of Saturday afternoon, and the coverage area would be more missed than hit. Nonetheless, there is that risk of thunderstorms headed to our area. But before we get to those weekend thunderstorms, we have to go through a tranquil, warm, toasty warm, some would call it hot, Friday. My 3-degree guaranteed forecast is for 87 degrees tomorrow. So once again, close but no cigar to that 122-year-old record. I'll verify this at 6 o'clock tomorrow. If I get it right, I'll donate another $50 to the Arthritis Foundation. Champion of yes. There's only 2 days left to go, so I can't hit $1,000, but I sure could get to 950, and wouldn't that be a sweetheart of a deal? All right, the heat gives way to more clouds, more thunderstorms, and so less warmth across the area. Again, I'm on record as saying Saturday's more mist than hit. But on Sunday, while it's not an all-day event, there is an occasional shower thunderstorm. Worst case scenario would be isolated severe weather, the wind being the biggest culprit. A lull early next week, another storm system Tuesday into Wednesday before we dry things out toward the tail end of next week. So a lot of heat, Sharon. Air conditioners, fans, tall cold glasses of iced tea, swimming pools, all getting a big-time workout.
Big time indeed. Hey, tonight I had an opportunity to moderate a discussion about the future of Atlanta Public Schools. I was honored to be joined by Superintendent Maria Kostarfin and Board President Courtney English at M Bar and Grill on Auburn Avenue. The discussion was candid. It was called Politics After Dark. And Kostarfin and English talked about their plan to turn around failing schools in the district. They are now well underway.
A salt shaker and a seat at a restaurant. The combo proved to be keys to comedian Cat Williams' latest run-in with the law. The details next.
Now to the hot cart death case, where the number of qualified jurors dropped from 38 to 37. This afternoon, the judge excused juror 22 because he claimed he got a baseball scholarship to Chattahoochee Tech. The state brought in the athletic coordinator who testified the school does not give out baseball scholarships. Court ended today with just 5 people being questioned. Jury qualifying resumes at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll be there.
Another arrest for comedian Cat Williams. This time it's over an alleged salt shaker attack. East Point police arrested Williams last night at the Spondivets seafood restaurant. Police say Williams threw a salt shaker at the manager. They said Williams did not wait to be seated and he got upset when he was asked to move. He's now facing a new battery charge. This is Cat Williams' 5th arrest this year in Metro Atlanta.
What a night for sports. The Hawks move on. The Falcons get a new star, and even the Braves won. It's all coming up next.
Right now, it's time to put the hottest ticket in town in your hand. CBS 46 wants to send you to see Beyonce, the Queen, this Sunday at the Georgia Dome.
All you have to do is enter the contest on our website, cbs46.com, for a chance to win those tickets. To enter, you're going to need the code word, and there it is. It's HALO. Right there on your screen. If you go right now to our website, cbs46.com, you enter the word HALO in our Beyonce contest. It gives you a shot at those Sunday concert tickets.
I love that song. Now, if you are the lucky winner, you'll have to pick up your tickets tomorrow right here at our CBS 46 studios. Let's give you that code word one last time. HALO. Good luck.
Now, CBS 46 Sports with Fred Khalil.
To win a playoff series is big. To do it on the road, that's just nice. The Atlanta Hawks were presented with a great opportunity tonight, a chance to close out the Boston Celtics on the Celtics' home floor. A 3-2 series lead, clinch situation. Let's get to the highlights. Mike Budenholzer using all of his guys tonight, like Mike Muscala. Moose only had 4 points, but he played 9 good minutes. There's Moose. In the third now, Kyle Korver knocks down a 3. It's a 12-point lead. The Hawks would lead by more than 20 at one point. Korver had 14, but Isaiah Thomas, a 3-point play there. He had 26 points. Look at that. That's the old continuation. He just throws it up and it goes in. But not tonight. Hawks took care of business. Korver to Bays to Millsap and won. And see ya. Cleveland, here we come. The final 104-92. The Hawks beat the Celtics and take that series 4-2. So the Hawks will start on the road against the Cavs on Monday. Revenge will be on their minds from a year ago. And meet your newest Atlanta Falcon, Keanu Neal from Florida. He went to Atlanta with the 17th overall pick in the draft tonight. He's a hard-hitting safety, kind of like Earl Thomas of the Seahawks. So here's what you need to know about Neal. He's explosive, one of the speedier defensive backs at the combine. He can accelerate quickly and build momentum. He's a good cover guy, not necessarily a ball hawk who's going to get 5 or 6 interceptions, but he can lock down a guy in coverage. One negative, and I don't see this as a negative, he may be a little too aggressive. Some scouts say he goes for the big hit instead of playing for the ball or sticking with a clean tackle. See, I don't have a problem with that, right? Go ahead, hit him. See what happens. Barring any trades, the Falcons have 2 more picks tomorrow, number 50 and number 81. They went defense today. Don't be surprised if they stay on the defensive side of the football with both picks tomorrow. Maybe a couple of good pass rushers. Offensive guard, also a possibility. And congratulations to UGA's Leonard Floyd. He goes 9th overall to the Chicago Bears, who traded up to get him. And he's a good fit to try to rebuild one of those Bears defenses that they had back in the Ditka days, when Ditka was coaching. Atlanta owned Boston tonight. Fenway Park, Nick Markakis. Nicky, as manager Freddie Gonzalez calls Markakis, came through 4 for 5 night, 3 runs batted in. The Braves' losing streak is over. The final score is 5-3. The Braves win. The streak's over, and the city of Atlanta owned Boston tonight. How about that?
You predicted it, Fred.
Yeah.
I think.
I did, yeah.
Take credit for it. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Well, today was kind of the one day of the week that you said to watch out for, and it really wasn't bad at all.
No, the thunderstorms formed down toward Upson County, well off to our south.
We'll take that.
Exactly.
That sounds good. And then going into the next couple of days?
Pretty warm.
Yeah.
Nice dry day tomorrow. I usually keep the word hot on the forecast unless it's going to hit 90, but this is just so early in the season, I got to call it as it is. 122-year-old Jeopardy record is in jeopardy.
All right, let's keep it that way. I mean, why not?
We're right back here in the morning. It all starts at 4:30 a.m. with Gloria Neal and Bobby Capo.
Thanks for making CBS 46 your choice for news at 11. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Good night.